Assalamualaikum and hi. Today we're going to start with the introductions of food microbes and human concern. Bacteria, viruses and fungi are microorganisms with a profound impact on the food we consume, shaping its composition and directly influencing human health. Bacteria contribute to processes like fermentation, affecting the taste and textures of food. Meanwhile, fungi play a role in food spoilage and can produce beneficial compounds in certain processes like fermentation. Viruses, on the other hand, can affect the safety of food, potentially leading to foodborne illnesses. For example, foodborne illnesses, commonly known as food poisoning, are caused by consuming food or water that has been contaminated with pathogenic bacteria, their toxins, or other potentially dangerous chemicals. In Malaysia, foodborne bacterial pathogens are the most common cause of diarrhea, with infections leading to longer sickness duration and greater mortality rate. Our exploration identified 4 major challenges: food spoilage, storage and transport, foodborne illnesses, lack of food safety education, and hygiene habits. Addressing these challenges require a multifaceted approach involving improved technologies, education, and collaborative efforts to foster a healthier coexistence.
So, for the first issue is about food contamination, storage, and transportation. What is contamination? Contamination is the presence of the hazardous or unwanted contaminants in a material, environment, or products. In the context of food safety, contamination occurs when food items become contaminated with chemicals that are hazardous to human health. Contamination in the food sector might begin with raw material. For example, when we acquire raw materials from suppliers that are not fresh or in acceptable shape, depending on several variables such as temperature, water content, nutritional compound, and the presence or the absence of antibiotic compounds. Food can be high in nutrients and safe for humans to consume for hours or even years. Next, contamination may occur throughout the food supply chain, including manufacturing, processing, transportation, and storage. As for the transportation, the earlier and undetected problems is also could introduce into the food transportation system. The higher the risk as measured by exposure likelihood and impact that is a problem introduced earlier to the supply chain can spread to the many distributors, retailers, and then to the consumers simply because of the system's structure. Frequency and severity risk ranking indicate 5 food safety issues of high concern across all modes of transportation. First, lack of security. Second, unsuitable holding techniques for the food goods awaiting transportation or inspection. Third, inappropriate temperature management. Fourth, cross-contamination. And lastly, incorrect loading practices. Same goes to the food storage. Improper food storage can cause a variety of issues, including bacteria and mold growth, food spoiling due to the nature decay, and even food waste, which causes billions of dollars yearly worldwide. It is because transportation and food storage are closely related, since transportation food are greater distance require keeping it fresh. So for the first issue may lead to the second one that will be presented by my other group members. Thank you, that's all from me.
Foodborne illnesses can be defined as any diseases caused by the intake of contaminated food, pathogenic bacteria and viruses that infect food, as well as chemical or natural poisons. The disease is generally caused by the release of toxins by microbes in the affected person's intestinal tract. Human concerns about foodborne disease are not new to society, since they are a major universal concern when taking in food. The World Health Organization (WHO) states that there are an estimated 600 million people worldwide, or about 1 in 10, who become infected after consuming food that was contaminated, and 420,000 of them pass away annually, taking 33 million healthy lives from the population. Foodborne illnesses not only cause a wide range of illnesses but also stifle national economies, trade and tourism, placing a burden on healthcare systems and impeding social economic growth. Foodborne disease symptoms can range from mild to severe and can even be fatal. They include an upset stomach, abdominal cramps, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and dehydration. Normally, foodborne outbreaks are caused by 3 distinct hazards, namely biological hazards, chemical hazards, and physical hazards. Most outbreaks are caused by the consumption of pathogenic bacteria such as Salmonella typhi, Escherichia coli, Staphylococcus aureus, Vibrio cholera, Campylobacter jejuni, and Listeria monocytogenes. Natural chemicals and chemical pollutants are examples of chemical hazards, and as for physical risk, might include metal shavings from cans, plastic bits, and shattered glass. In Malaysia, There are lots of studies reported regarding the detection of foodborne pathogens in foods, drinking water, stool samples, and clinical isolates. Between 2017 and 2021, 46 foodborne illness outbreaks occurred in Seremban Negeri Sembilan according to IWabak. Of them, 18 out of 46 outbreaks included educational institutions. On the other hand, according to studies, in 2019, 27 European Union member states reported 5,175 foodborne outbreaks, whereas in Zhejiang province of China, during the year of 2015 to 2020, a total of 962 foodborne disease outbreaks were reported. In conclusion, this proves that we are still dealing with foodborne illnesses as it still occurs throughout time, and it is a big concern whether in our own country or globally.
Ensuring food safety education is crucial across the entire food supply chain, reaching farmers, manufacturers, distributors, and regulatory bodies. Without proper knowledge, there are risks of pollution and contamination at various stages. For farmers, safe practices during planting are essential to avoid exposure to pollution. Manufacturers and distributors need accurate information to maintain food integrity during processing, packaging, transportation, and storage. At the consumer level, neglecting hand washing and misunderstanding cooking temperatures and expiration date can lead to cross-contamination and the consumption of undercooked or expired food, resulting in foodborne illnesses. The impact of inadequate food safety education becomes even more evident globally, with disruption in supply chains and temperature control issues affecting food safety standards. Communication gaps between food safety agencies contribute to systemic challenges. Addressing these issues requires a comprehensive strategy involving education, regulation, and international cooperation. Statistics underscore the urgency of food safety education, with 60% of foodborne infections in Europe countries and 78% in the USA originating from food and beverage establishments. Establishing clear performance criteria and implementing traceable practices are essential to ensuring a safer food supply. In conclusion, a holistic approach is needed to address food safety challenges, emphasizing education for all stakeholders, regulatory measures, and global cooperation. This multifaceted strategy is crucial to secure a safer and more reliable food supply for everyone.
Next, the last issue is the inadequate hygiene practice in food handling. This issue talks about the poor hygiene practice in food handling that can result in the growth of harmful microorganisms, which can pose risk of severe health consequences for consumer. One of the issues related to the hygiene practice is the cross-contamination issue. Poor hygiene, such as insufficient hand washing after handling raw food, or using shared equipment without proper cleaning, or neglecting the separation of raw and cooked product, that can result into a conducive transfer of a harmful microorganism. Similarly, the improper storage of raw and cooked product can also allow for potential interaction in the refrigerator and can further heighten the risk of cross-contamination in the food, which can pose risk to food safety. The second issue related to hygiene practice is the poor cleanliness among food handlers. For example, a crucial aspect of this situation is the poor attitude toward hair management, in which people fail to wear essential equipment such as hat or hairnet, allowing potential pollutant from human hair to enter the food preparation area. Second, the disregard of the uniform, clothing, and apron hygiene, and also with the food handler fail to bath regularly and changing visibly soiled garment on time. There is also an issue they ignore, which is the restriction on nail polish rule when they are handling the food product that can cause the breeding ground for dirt and bacteria. Lastly, the inadequate glove use and glove reuse can also contribute to the factor of food hygiene. Therefore, we can say that the collective lack of attention to this personal hygiene practice or the poor handling of food products, which lead to cross-contamination risk, can contribute to the vulnerability of foodborne infection, creating an environment ripe for the proliferation of harmful microorganisms.
So, how to overcome food contamination? One of the most important steps in preventing food contamination is ensuring the quality of raw materials, establishing relationships with reputable suppliers, and implementing stringent quality control measures during raw material receipt are critical. Setting strict standards for incoming raw materials lays the groundwork for a safe and contaminant-free food production process. To avoid cross-contamination, raw and cooked foods must be clearly separated. Separate workstations and dedicated equipment and utensils for different food types help to avoid the unintentional transfer of contaminants. In terms of food storage, clear and accurate food product labeling is critical for both consumers and industry stakeholders. Expiration dates, storage instructions, and allergen information should be displayed prominently. Proper storage practice such as rotating stock so that older products are used first help to prevent contamination by ensuring that products are consumed within their designated shelf life. Next, maintaining proper temperature is critical in slowing growth of microorganisms that cause food spoilage. It is critical to keep perishable foods at the proper storage temperatures. Cold storage not only prevents bacterial growth but also maintains the nutritional quality of food.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I'm going to present about on how to overcome foodborne illness. Our foodborne illness defense is built on 4 key pillars: cleanliness, separation, cooking, and chilling. So for the first point is cleanliness. Cleaning effectively includes removing soil and debris, washing with hot soapy water, and rinsing with potable or drinking water. And we also need sanitizing to eliminate quality of germs to a safe level by using heat. Next, second point is separation. Separate the ingredient to avoid cross-contamination. The transmission of hazardous germs from uncooked food goods or dirty individual woodtops and kitchen equipment to ready-to-eat foods. When shopping, separating each raw material from other foods by physically separating them, such as raw meat and fish. Furthermore, the third point is cooking. Temperature is important to maintain a safe interior temperature that successfully destroys hazardous microorganisms. Invest in a dependable food thermometer and use it consistently. Don't base color dullness entirely on meal browning or the look of fluids. Even if the meats appear to be cooked, the ultimate determinant of safety is interior temperature. And lastly, chilling. Cooked food should be cool within 2 hours or be cooked or reaching room temperature. To avoid bacterial growth, do this within 1 hour. Rapid chilling method for speedier cooling. Divide by quantities into smaller containers. Don't stuff your fridge because air movement is essentially for proper chilling. Throw away any leftover that have been in the danger zone, such as 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, for the more than 2 hours.
Next, how to overcome insufficient food safety education among citizens. Number 1 is farmer education and training. To ensure food safety, farmers need education in practices like pesticide usage and soil health. Chain layout research shows diverse training methods enhance understanding. Encouraging good agricultural practices reduces the gaps through incentive and tele-education, including webinars, addresses farmers' needs. Government and organizational support for farmer training initiative is crucial for a safer public food supply. Number 2, consumer awareness and training. Empower consumers with food safety knowledge through campaigns emphasizing hand washing, proper cooking, and storage practices. Utilize diverse education methods including workshops and online platforms. Governments and groups can leverage social media for widespread awareness, fostering informed dietary decisions and safeguarding individuals and families from food safety risks. And number 3 is community-based initiative. Empower communities through local programs for food safety education. Encourage collaboration among farmers, manufacturers, distributors, and consumers. Initiatives like the USDA and IFA grant support tailored training, enhancing local organizations' capacity to address specific needs and promote food safety. Next is government intervention. Number 1 is regulatory measures and capacity building. Government policies are vital to address food safety gaps. Strengthening regulatory frameworks, as seen in the US through the Food Safety Modernization Act, is crucial globally. Public-private collaboration enhance standards, utilizing resources from both sectors. International agencies like WHO and FDA provide tools, training, and support, fostering education on best food safety practices through outreach programs and workshops for farmers, consumers, and food handlers. Policy integration and coordination. Effective food safety education requires streamlined policy integration and collaboration among government agencies. This ensures prioritization and consistency in governance frameworks. Cooperative platforms unite commerce, health, education, agriculture, and regulation entities. Harmonizing regulatory system fosters uniform norms, providing clear information for stakeholders. Public awareness campaigns empower consumers, while centralized authorities enhance efficiency and accountability. Intersectoral institutions ensure coordinated implementation of food safety rules across diverse sectors.
Next, these are ways to overcome inadequate hygiene practice in food handling with citizen involvement. First, home hygiene practice. Hand washing is the first step, preventing the spread of harmful bacteria. This can be done before cooking, after contact with raw meat, seafood, or lavatory breaks. Separating cooked and raw food is another important habit, using different cutting boards, cutlery, and containers for each. Keeping kitchen surfaces and equipment clean is also essential to prevent bacteria from spreading. Second, community workshops. Bringing in local health professionals or experts to conduct practical demonstrations and address participant questions can provide current, reliable information and encourage practical applications. Topics covered include correct food handling, storage, temperature control, and personal cleanliness. Hands-on demonstrations such as cleaning hands and using thermometers can make the content more relevant and memorable. Third, education and awareness. Communities can raise awareness about safe food storage, cooking temperatures, and cleanliness through distributing flyers, social media, and local events. Community activity like culinary demos and seminars can help debunk myths and provide advice for home food safety. For the government policy involvement, first, inspection and monitoring. Implementing a risk-based inspection system helps authorities focus on high-risk business, reducing potential hazards and preventing foodborne disease. Regular inspections also educate employees and owners on proper food safety procedures, fostering a culture of food safety and public confidence in the food supply. Second, certification and licensing. Food facilities and food handlers must hold certifications or license to ensure proper food handling, sanitary precautions, and prevention of foodborne disease. These requirements contribute to industry accountability, ensuring food safety laws and hygiene standards are upheld. Third, enforcement and penalties. Food safety rules require robust enforcement procedures, including increased monitoring and inspection of food enterprise, proper training for food handlers and manufacturers, and strict enforcement policies. Penalties, fines, or closures for non-compliance can discourage and encourage compliance.
In conclusion, the intricate dance between food microorganism and human health unfolds with both potential risks and advantages. The microbiome realm significantly shapes the safety and nutritional content of our food. Challenges such as food spoilage, foodborne illnesses, and gaps in food safety education underscore the complexities in ensuring a secure and reliable food supply. Solutions lie in implementing effective preservation techniques, upholding rigorous food safety standards, and prioritizing education at every level of the food production and consumption chain. By addressing these challenges collectively, we pave the way for a safer, healthy food system. To navigate this complex landscape successfully, collaboration and a commitment to fostering a culture of awareness and knowledge are paramount. Through this collective commitment, we can build a resilient and informed food system that safeguards public health, ensuring the safety of our food supply from farm to table.